Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Masterpiece MP-47 Hound, the new and last figure for Masterpiece figure for 2019. There's a lot to talk about with this guy, considering he's got issues. At least mine it doesn't, but a lot of people's do. But before we get to that, with the green Jeep here, we'll go ahead and take a look at this box, because yeah, it's typical Masterpiece box, and you can see there's the Hound in his two modes right there, and the Jeep logo because the license, long life design, yeah, Masterpiece. And you got Masterpiece and Hound on top there. You got a bunch of warnings and stuff on the bottom here. You got a picture of Hound on the side, and you got another picture of House of Willie's Jeep CG3B, and on the back you got a whole bunch of product shots and whatnot, and all his accessories and abilities and a bunch of stuff I can't read. So that's your Masterpiece box, typical one, not really hugely surprising there. You also, of course, have his instructions, which, you know, there's quite a bit there. You know, tells you how to transform it, and of course, some of the accessories and how to use those, and of course, yeah, all that stuff. And hey, look, this is that scene that, you know, that the thing was in. Then there's the addendum to the instructions, because they, I guess, wanted to clarify some things which are not exactly the most clear regarding Hound. So there's that, and of course you have his his bio card, which not instructions, which has a nice bit of artwork there of him, and then back you got more stuff I can't read, and his tech specs. So there you go. Now, Hound right here, you can see it's not the usual Hound. Not right here anyway, not this mode. This is, yep, his Jeep mode, fully covered up and whatnot. You can see he rolls decently. Plastic tires, and there's a reason for that this time. But yeah, he rolls. He's got this little thing. He did it once in an episode, so they of course include this as an accessory. Little canopy, canvas canopy. But yeah, you can see he's very much a matte green, little yellow thing right there. Autobot logo star. Little winch, mirrors in particular gray plastic, I guess. Yeah, all this stuff. Spare tire, gas can, things you expect on a Jeep, really. But yeah, this thing, of course, can pop on and off. It's it just kind of frictions on. It's just you go, you know, when you're putting it on, you want to make sure to come at it from an angle, and also make sure to, you know, push it in a little bit back here so you can clear the spare tire, and it'll kind of latch in when you do so. Also, you can store several accessories up here inside there. You can see that there are a couple faces and a key, and you can also store some of his gun up in here if you want. I believe if I recall, that's what those are for. Gun and the spare tire can also store up in here if you want. And the gas can, and all that stuff. I don't want to pull them off, but yeah, the gun, the rear gun here can store up in here. The gas can store here, and the spare tire can store there if you want. I just prefer them on the vehicle itself. And yeah, as you also see, there's a little spike and a hologram spike, because that one time he did the thing. Yeah, the gun is actually supposed to be out and fully uncurled. It's supposed to be facing sideways, because that's just how it was. Then you got the gun fist right there. It can rotate and look up and down a bit. This hinge right here is a lot more stiffer than the other hinges, so it has a tendency to unfold, and doesn't secure super well. You can see that it just likes to come undone really easily, unfortunately, but it's also pretty easy to get back on there. There you go. There's that. You can see the hologram spike. This one's just a solid piece of plastic, sits in one position. That's it. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Translucent blue. Yeah, that's neat. You know, hologram. And of course, there's this spike. It's a bit larger than the one that came with MP-44 or MP-45, but yeah. You can see though that unpainted face. It's got articulation. Head can rotate left and right. I think the camera move forward and back. The shoulders are on little ball joints, so got a bit of wiggle room there. You got a hinge at the elbow, little tiny hinge. He's got a little mid ab ball joint, so you can crunch It's also can rotate a bit as well. Ball joints at the hips, although those are kind of limited in how far they can go. And then a hinge at the knee. And there's the articulation for this little dude. And he's got little peg holes because there's little pegs on the floor right here on the vehicle mode. I'm not sure how you can see that. There's a little peg there for his feet, if you want. So yeah, that's a full thing. It's mostly nice painted, I guess, though the kind of creepy non-painted face. So there's that. He's also got a couple extra accessories, including a 2 extra mirrors, just in case. But so far, that's not the problem people are having with this figure. And there's this little hologram, I guess, beam, which you can't, I guess, shove it in the, like, you can kind of shove it in here, but then, yeah, it doesn't really work super well, no matter what you do. So, yeah, there's no real place to store it in vehicle mode, unfortunately, but it exists. That's for more of a robot mode, though. Yeah, then of course you got this, I guess, more correct Jeep mode for it, all things considered. This hood can also open, which, because of the way it transforms, it looks kind of like an engine. That's pretty neat. And again, still rolls. So I guess I probably should address it right now. A lot of people's have been a bit on the fragile side, particularly like these hinges, this hinge right here. Yeah, so this bit, these hinges, that hinge, and a couple hundred hinges we'll get to a little bit in robot mode. They're just basically, they crack and come apart and everything, and that's a very common problem right now. Apparently, is just the figure is kind of fragile, particularly the hinges, and people are still trying to suss out why. And if it's just the green plastic, it might be something how they made the plastic here made it extra fragile. Might be the matte finish. It might have been the fact that it got really cold during shipping, and then that made the plastic brittle. So now people are getting them, opening them, and oh, whoops, they just crack. I don't know, because some people's are they're broken out of the box. Others are breaking as they transform it. And it's like not like they're being. And some people, there probably is a non-zero number of people who are being a little rough with their figure, shall we say? But there's clearly something's up. No one can at this point. No one's really sure what the exact cause is, other than there is enough thing there that many people in China, Japan, US are all reporting the same thing, which is my Hound is breaking at these hinges and stuff. Mine so far has actually been okay. I do not have any cracks or stress marks or anything. Apparently that's the thing. It's not really stress marks. It just crack. You get a hairline crack and then a big crack and then the whole thing comes apart. I have not got any cracks or anything whatsoever so far through multiple transformations. I've had mine for quite a couple days now, and it's been fine. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but it exists. It does exist, and it basically comes down. It's kind of a luck of the draw. Like mine is like flawless. There is no real problem with it, but other people, theirs are broken right out of the box. So I don't know what it is, but it seems to be luck of the draw, and it's a $120 something figure. So there's that, and it kind of sucks that exists. You guys can do that, just like they sometimes in real world, they fold the windshield down. There's that. And the wind, I guess this can adjust. Yeah, it's a decent vehicle. I like this vehicle mode. There's also a little Jeep symbol there, and you got the stuff picked out. Painted tires. Yeah, again, the tires are plastic, but again, for a very good reason this time, basically because the tires are part of the transformation now. Or some of them anyway. So, yeah, I like it, but I also got a nice one. So, again, it's one of those, you're going to have to, if you want a Hound at this point, you're going to have to just kind of hope you get a good one and hope the store you buy it from has a good return policy. Yeah, I do, aside from those issues, which are semi-common at the very least, it's a good vehicle mode. It's a bit small comparatively, but then again, Jeeps are tend to be kind of small, though then this kind of shows because this guy is so much bigger than the ones that came with the MP-44 and 45, that scale is out of whack no matter what you do, and I don't know why people are so hell-bent on a hardline scale when that's a good way to go drive yourself crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this transformed so we can talk about robot mode, shall we? Wait, hold on. Almost forgot. There's one last thing, which is you can actually store his little gun underneath down here. I mean, they kind of tell you to do this in robot mode, but I find it's easier to put in these pieces in here in vehicle mode. You can do it in robot mode. You can take them in and out on robot mode. I'm not going to do it myself because, again, I find it more difficult, but you can store them in halves like this underneath. Yeah, that's every single accessory except for the extra mirrors and the hologram cone can store down here. And this gun can then be put together and unfolded, and voila, he got his little gun, which we'll get back to in his robot mode. But then, now we can go ahead and get transformed for robot mode. All right. So, yeah, robot mode here. Yeah, robot mode here is actually, again, it's really close to the cartoon in many ways. You know, some liberties taken here, they're just because of necessity, but it's probably the closest to cartoon accurate we've gotten to for a, well, Masterpiece Hound so far that we've gotten. I mean, not to discount the two third-party options, but yeah, this is the closest we've had to a, well, cartoon accurate Hound we've gotten. Yeah, I genuinely like this robot mode a lot. Only thing would be possibly his arms might be weirdly proportioned, but I don't really see it. I noticed that was something someone was complaining about, but I don't really see it so much. It's got that weird thing of that anime aesthetic of just kind of the, you know, the proportions are kind of the thing is the legs are going to be a large chunk of the proportions, and then the upper torso is going to be somewhat shorter. It's just how they did things, and that's fine. To me, I think that really works well for robots. Yeah, again, the matte green really shining through, and you got the yellow showing up, and then the arms and the groin here and all the stuff. Yeah, it's a largely, and again, a lot of stuff actually compacts down really well in the back. I was surprised by how well compacted down. I mean, it works really nicely, this. Yeah. Again, though, the biggest thing is just those potentially fragile plastic messing up the whole thing, which means you got to be extra careful when you're transforming it to make sure you don't accidentally break panels off and whatnot. It's a really nice looking robot mode. Again, accessories. Again, the accessories are right here. You can do. There's a lot there you can do. For one thing, of course, it's a gun. It's a little gun here, which, of course, he can hold like any Masterpiece figure can. It's got the little tab on the side, so you can just slot it into his hand. Grips it pretty well. You know, it's got that little gun. Yeah, got pew-pews. And yeah, this gun this is where you can use the little hologram emitter and just pretend he's projecting a hologram or whatever. That's one thing. That's one of the accessories. So yeah, the accessories, of course, you use this entire thing as a shield. You can see that's got a tab slot, and that's kind of a pain in the butt just because of how it works. There you gotta, yeah, it's because of the maneuvering and necessary. Yeah, you can get that in there and close the hand up around it and use that as a shield, which, sure, I guess. I mean, I don't think it looks great, so I don't particularly like it, but I guess it's something. They insist on having that accessory, so there you go. Kind of a weird accessory to have, but sure. The other accessories are stored in here. I mean, the spikes, the hologram and other spike aren't really accessories for this mode. You got the little key from that time you locked up Ravage and then screwed up and let him go. But yeah, the key here, what you do is you actually want to come back here, open this up, and then this little thing right here, you move that out and you can close this back up. And it just hooks on. Simple. Just like it was supposed to be, like before. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. Just a little key. That's one of those accessories I don't mind just because it's tiny, cheap. So, that's not too bad. I don't think you can really hold it. I mean, I guess you can have them do the, sort of do the finger twirl. Or, yeah, where he's just, yeah. See? Ravage won't get away. And of course, the up here on the head, more than just faces. I'm gonna try to right up here on the head. You can open this up, and hey, look, there's a little visor thing for that one time he did the thing. I don't remember what it was exactly, but just remember he used it. A little bit of clear plastic, and again, this is one of those times a spudger comes in handy. Do that, bring that down over his face, and there you go. You got a little visor, and of course you can also open up this bit right here, so you can remove the face. Just lift it up off the head, like so, and then you can take one of the other two faces. Got a little smiley, kind of weird smirky face and a screaming face. I'm gonna go ahead and. Yeah, they both do the same thing. You can see that's one right there. But yeah, they both do the same thing of just slot on top. You know, go in the slot tab. Boom. Yeah, make sure to put it down all the way. Bring that down all the way. Yeah, it's a different face. Let's go ahead and leave that one on for now. So yeah, that's another thing is, speaking of his head, you can see there's kind of a gap there sometimes. I'm not sure how well, yeah, you can see sometimes there's a bit of a gap between the head and the torso because of how they did it. I don't mind it too much. It's usually not that noticeable, but usually if you're getting too bad, you can actually take these pits and kind of bring it down like that, and there you go. You kind of eliminate most of the gapping. Just kind of, yeah, hold that and push the head down and boom. That kind of helps you eliminate the gapping a bit, so there's that. So that's not, to me, that's not a really big concern, but it is for some people. Biggest concern for a lot of people is, of course, the hinges, particularly on these panels and right here. These hinges right here, those four hinges are probably the most fragile in the whole thing for most people. And on mine, thankfully, and these hinges right here, these two hinges and these hinges right here are for some people also breaking. Mine, again, so far have been okay. And sometimes people are like, oh, freaking out, like, oh, is that a crack? No, it's actually just mold flash. So just an FYI, there is some fragility here. But articulation. This actually has on a swivel right there, and it can also go up and down. So it's going to do that. You can also just kind of point it backwards, and unfortunately, you can't really get it too much. I mean, you can kind of get it out of the way a little bit, but not really. It's just kind of, you can also swivel it around to the other shoulder. Because of the way it works, you can actually swivel it around to the other shoulder and have it over here. It sits a little further back, but you know, if you don't want it on the right shoulder for whatever reason. Options, and it doesn't hold it securely, but it is a thing. Let me just get that out of the way. Head can kind of look left and right, but again, the armature it's on kind of limits it a little bit. You can look up a hair fraction, down. There's a little bit of waggle. But yeah, it's kind of weirdly limited because of the armature, which is unfortunate. Someone said you could do such and such thing and get it moving more. Oh yeah, there you go. There it goes. Up is actually on this hinge right here. And it's just a pain in the butt to get to cooperate. But yeah, you got that. Yeah, the thing is, there's not really a whole lot you can do otherwise. But he does have some articulation, just not as much as you'd hope for on a masterpiece figure. See, there is a ball joint in there. That's the thing. There is a ball joint. It's just limited because of the shape of the head. Oh, there we go. What did I do? Suddenly it's not so limited. Of course, that's the thing is when you look, you know, really far to the side, it kind of the head is forced down a bit, and then. Okay, the head's actually really good. I'm lying. I've been lying this entire time. Turns out the head's actually pretty decent. It's just you just gotta. Yeah, there's a what is it? Okay. Okay, there's a hinge. The ball joint is attached to the hinge, so it's, yeah. The only thing is that makes the neck look weird if you do it too much, but it does give him a lot more range when you unfold it. So there you go, that's just unfolded. So if you're trying to get more range out of, just tilt it forward and then up, and you should be good to go. So I was wrong initially. So the head is actually not as limited as I thought it was. It's good to know. The shoulders can do the full 360 thing. They can go up or outwards like that. There's a bicep swivel up here. There's a double jointed elbow. You know, get that out right. And then there's, because the way it transforms and stuff, there's another hinge right below the elbow, or not hinge, swivel. I am good at reviewing, I swear. Wrist is on a swivel as well. And it can also open and close like that. And the thumb is on a swivel, so it can open and close this way. And the fingers are also on a hinge. Why I keep calling it swivel? It's not swivel, it's a hinge. The finger's on a hinge. The pointer finger is on its own hinge. You can do that. And there's a bit of articulation there. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention real quick was, yeah, he also has the butterfly articulation on the shoulder. So yeah, that's pretty good range right there. It's kind of weird looking because of the way it works, but he's got that. It's quite the range. So yeah, that's just one bit of articulation I forgot. Waists and swivel. It's fine. You got an ab crunch, about that much range. Pretty good right there. The hips, you got forward, you got outward about that far. Not as much as you'd like. Backwards. That's it. Yeah, for whatever reason, this is one solid panel. There is no flap or anything, so that's all you get backwards, which is weird. I don't know why they did it like that, but that's just how it is. You get a tiny bit backwards. Like, that's your maximum range backwards, which is kind of unfortunate, I feel. I'm not sure why, but that's just how it is. Live with it or don't buy the figure, I guess. Thighs can swivel. That's another thing, is paint chipping. There's been reports of paint chipping, like right here. Yeah, you can see mine has a bit of a paint loss there. They can swivel right there. You also got that weird below knee swivel, which only goes one way because of the transformation. Knees got good range, pretty decent range right there. Bit of quite the curl there. It's a single hinge. Ankles though, inward, a little outward, down, forward. Yeah, you got a lot of range there thanks to the double hinge. And ooh, don't do that. Careful with that. Yeah, thanks to this double hinge, and this thing doesn't want to stay together right now. And thanks to this double hinge though, you can have quite a bit of range there if you really want. That's what's happening. It's coming untabbed a bit. Yeah, because that one of these hinges is pretty tight. So that's your articulation. Mostly good, except for that weird just limitation going backwards at the hips. Quick, I guess, quick a comparison. I'm gonna grab Gundog here because that's the one I have. Yeah, you can see Gundog is a bit bulkier. Gundog is also a bit was more based on the toy, if anything. So you can see Gundog's a bit bulkier, but they're roughly the same height. I think Gundog's actually a bit shorter. Yeah, Gundog's a bit shorter and whatnot, but I actually do like Gundog still. It's just this is more toy. Okay, Gundog also noticeably heavier. But yeah, Gundog was one of the weird ones because like he's very much toy based. You can see he's very much based in the toy thing. So if you're looking for a cartoon, you want to go for Fans Toys Willis or this guy, and Fans Toys Willis has his own problem. I believe the ankle. And funny enough, and here's the punchline: I avoided Fans Toys Willis because I heard there was some bad QC. Yeah, is that. So, should you buy Hound? And like I said, there's been rampant reports of QC problems, particularly cracked hinges and whatnot. That's the biggest one, is cracked hinges, and then, well, the hinges eventually break because they're cracked. But the thing is, it's not on every copy. It seems to be either you got one with a cracked hinge or two, or yours is darn near flawless. I'm lucky, I got a flawless one. I'd be sitting here complaining hard if I got a non-flawless one. But that's the thing. If you get a good one, it's a fantastic figure. The transformation is interesting and I think really well done. Particularly, I think the legs and feet are one of the big highlights of the transformation. And the Jeep mode looks great. The robot mode looks fantastic. It's a fun to transform. It's really just, once you get past is it going to break on me or not, it's a really fun transformation. I really genuinely think would be a great figure. But like so many people complained about there's breaking, and I don't know, because of that, it's a crapshoot, especially for like $120 plus $120 to $160 depending where you buy it. It's a bit of a crapshoot. It's like, is it really worth taking that gamble? I mean, if you get that's why I say, okay, so here's the thing. If you like Hound, if you really like Hound and you don't already have a third-party option, or you just want to get more Hounds because you really like Hound, and you have the money, take the gamble at a place where don't go to like eBay and have to deal with that. Go to like a place that has a good return policy and inspect your figure immediately on buying it. Look at the hinges in particular. Look all those particular hinges that look at all the hinges. If any of them are cracked or whatever, or if it's a microfracture, send it back. And yeah, don't deal with it. But if it doesn't, then you're in for a fantastic figure. Just be careful and when transforming it, so you don't accidentally break it or whatever. And also, if the box is cold, for the love of God, do not transform it immediately. Wait for it to warm up. I think something about this plastic particularly is particularly prone to the brittleness. When cold. I think that might be the actual issue. I'm wondering if this particular plastic, the mixture, is just particularly prone to brittleness when cold. And since it's winter, that's what's messing things up. So that's why might be what's happening. It's just a weird thing. They just did not, they didn't encounter it because it wasn't cold enough yet when they were testing it. I don't know. So that's the thing, is if you really like Hound and you have the money to spare and you're willing to take that gamble, go look at it. And just, if it's bad, if you get a bad QC one, just return it. And I don't know, you could take a gamble and try again, or you just give up and just stick with the different options like Willis or Gundog. But if you get a good one, you're in for a good toy if you get one with good QC. And that's my thing. It's just, that's what you got to figure out for yourself, is if you get that good copy or not. And that's the problem. It's like, yeah, I know. It's just the same thing with like almost MP-44. Like, just, it's the gamble. And it's getting really, it is getting kind of a little frustrating that we have to, like, I now have to end, like, every official Masterpiece review with, well, if you get a good one, it's good. Because, yeah, it is a good figure, for sure. There's no way of doubt in my mind it is a good figure if you get one with good QC. If you get one with good QC, it is a good figure, but, yeah. So that makes it difficult to fully recommend. If it wasn't for the QC issues, it'd be, yeah, no-brainer. Absolutely get this Hound. Yeah, I'm rambling. Because I hate this. I hate this. I keep having to do this now. So, just if you already bought yours and it's on the way, be sure to inspect it for those cracks or whatever. But if you haven't yet, just be aware of that's an issue. Who knows? They might fix it later down the line. It might go away down the line because the cold weather. I'm almost certain it might actually genuinely be the cold weather is what's causing the problems. I don't know. Maybe something's up. And that sucks. So, I guess that's it. Just buyer beware on this one. Really, just be really careful with it. So that's it. I hope you found this informative or entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe if you did do so. Clicking notification bells and all that stuff. Checking out my Patreon, Coffee, my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. If you want to check it out, see pictures of this figure and other figures in the future. So yeah, that's it for this review. There should be a new review coming out sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks, depending on when it shows up. Those figures show up. I just got more showing up, so yeah, there's that. Yeah. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.